7 words or phrases that you need to stop saying. Now, I'm sure you may be surprised by some of these words or phrases that we shall be sharing today. That is because you've probably said them a lot of times and it's becoming normal. It's becoming some sort of normal. But then the truth is that these words are not beneficial. Saying these things is not really beneficial. That is because some of them have a negative connotation. Some of them are self-limiting, and some of them could even affect your self-esteem, as we shall see. But before we get into that, before we start sharing these words, I would like you to do me a favor. Please hit the like button below and also subscribe if it is your first time to view this channel. Have you done that? Awesome. Alright, let's get to business. Number 1 is, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I know. I'm sure you're surprised about this one. Like, what's the I'm sure you are probably asking yourself, what is the problem with I'm sorry? Well, the thing with I'm sorry is that when you oversay it, that is when it becomes a problem. Okay, there are people who there are times when, most people tend to apologize for every and anything. Okay, even when they've not done anything wrong.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, man. Sorry. I'm really sorry, man. Avec sorry me, your grand frère. Avec sorry me. Sorry me so much. Avec sorry me.
Okay, we got it. Jeez. And the thing with saying it a lot is that it tends to reduce the value of those words. According to a 2015 survey done by the research company YouGov, they actually did the survey on 1,600 British participants and 1,000 American participants. And out of this, they realized that 60% of the British participants said I'm sorry for doing someone a favor and making a mistake. And the same thing with 58% of the Americans. So you can see that they were actually trying to do someone a favor. So in that case, they really didn't need to apologize. Yet they did. And also, the average person apologizes 2,920 times in a year. 2,920 times in a year. That's quite a lot. That is about 8 apologies in a day and 58 apologies in a week. Okay, but you ask yourself, but why all of those apologies? Obviously, we are not saying here that you should not apologize at all. Okay, there are times when you should apologize, when you've actually done something wrong. When you've actually offended someone, go ahead and say, I'm sorry. Okay, you should apologize when you've offended someone. But then, just blurting out, I'm sorry all the time. For instance, when people, when someone else bumps you on the road, you say, I'm sorry. It reduces the value of your apology. When you say it all the time, it reduces the value and it doesn't really have any meaning anymore. All right. So instead of always saying I'm sorry, sometimes you can say excuse me. You can say if someone corrects you, for instance, you can say thank you for the correction. Okay, you don't need to say I'm sorry. And another very common one is we don't like to say no. When someone asks for a favor and we can't do that, we say I'm sorry. I can't do that. Instead of saying that, just simply say I can't do that, unfortunately. So can we do this instead, or can we rain check, for instance? You don't need to apologize for not doing someone a favor. Okay, simply politely say that I'm unable to do that because of so and so. Can we do this instead? All right, that works. Number 2, no problem. Yeah, so no problem is this one is usually said in the context of when someone tells you thank you. When someone tells you thank you, you say no problem. Okay, so I'm sure you're wondering why this is an issue. Well, saying no problem implies that you thought that the person's request was a problem, but then when you actually did it, okay, it wasn't a problem. Okay, so you see where that could be, where that is an issue. So it is not really something positive to say, though when you say it, you don't mean it that way. But saying no problem implies that that thing could have been a problem. It implies that you helping the person could have been a problem. Okay, so it's preferable not to say no problem. The standard response when someone says thank you is to say you're welcome. You can say you're welcome. You can say glad to have helped, or it's a pleasure. Instead of saying no problem is negative, it's not really good. Don't say that. So number 3, I did my best. Okay, yeah, so this one is very common. And it is usually said after a failure, after a failed attempt. Let's say you've had an interview and you didn't make it, or you wrote a test and you didn't succeed, and you say that I did my best. The problem with this is that there is really nothing after best, right? And you saying I did my best kind of limits you. It makes you think that you've done everything that you could have done. Whereas the truth is that if you did everything that you could have done, you would have made it. Okay, there's always something better that you can do. There's always room for improvement. So saying that you did your best is limiting. It limits you psychologically. It is something that happens in the mind. Okay, so the question is, was that really your best? And it's most likely not the case. What you think was your best was not really your best. There is definitely something more that you could do. All right. So instead of saying that you did your best, say that I will do better next time. All right. Don't say that I did my best, because that truly wasn't your best. And number 4, please can you do so and so. So this one is when you are making a request. Okay, so I mean it seems like it's not an issue to say please can you do this. But here's where there is a problem. It reduces the chances of the person accepting. Here's why. In saying that please can you do so and so, in other words, it's like you are asking the person whether the person, it's like you are not sure that the person can do it, and you are asking whether the person can do this thing. Maybe you want the person to write an article. You say, please can you write this article? Since you are not even sure that the person can do it, I mean, why should the person be sure that he can do it? All right. So the person might as well say, I can't do it. So instead of saying, please can you do this, say, please I would like you to do so and so. Because saying please can you it shows that you are not sure that the person can do what you are requesting. Instead of saying that, say please I would like you to do this or that. It is a polite way of saying it, and there is a greater chance of the person accepting to honor the request. Alright, so the next one is I can't do it. Okay, this one I think is almost self-explanatory. It shows pessimism. It shows pessimism, and most of the times this is usually said out of frustration. When you've tried something several times and you keep failing, you say I can't do it. All right, but then the truth is that when you say that you can't do it, then you can't. Okay, so I mean Henry Ford once said that if you believe that you can or that you can't, you are right. So whichever one you choose to believe, you are right. And the Bible equally says it in Proverbs 18:21. That death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So it's all about like what you confess. Our words carry power. So you need to be careful about the kind of words that you express. Instead of expressing words that show pessimism, express optimism. So in the face of a challenge, when you've tried several times and you failed, instead of saying that I can't do it, ask the question, how can I do this? Because the truth is that there is always a way out. And in asking that question, it will prompt you to try to find a solution to the problem. It will prompt you to think of a way to do it. Because the truth is that whatever you're trying to do, others have also done. Others have done it before. So in asking that question, you will try to find the ways in which other people have resolved the problem and apply it in order to get out of the situation as well. So instead of saying I can't, say how can I? Got it? All right. And then number 6, I'm tired. I'm tired. Yeah.
I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm tired. Masa, I don't tire. I don't tire, Masa. I beg.
All right. We've heard that. Now, can you stop? Please? I mean, it sounds natural to say, right? And it's true. You may feel tired, but then you should never say this just before the day before an exam. You spend most of the time studying and you didn't rest well, and you're feeling a little tired the next day. Don't ever say that I'm tired. Don't say that, because that already is going to put your body in a dire state, because you've said those words that are negative, and it affects you. So instead of saying that I'm tired, say that I need to rest. Okay, I need to rest, and that's okay. Okay, because everybody needs to rest. All right, but saying that I'm tired it's something negative. It doesn't help the situation. It doesn't help the situation. Rather say I need to rest. I need to rest. It's better to say that. And lastly, this one is very popular. I'm pushing. I'm pushing. I mean, how many times have you asked someone that, for instance, how is everything going, and the person says I'm pushing. Okay, I'm pushing. It seems very natural to say I'm pushing, but it's not good. All right. I mean, even in French. Hey gars, comment ça va? Comment va le travail? Gars, on pousse, on met la cale. On pousse, on met la cale. Okay, so I'm pushing is okay. I mean, what are you pushing? That's the question. What are you pushing? So the problem with this is that it shows that you're putting in a lot of effort to make progress. It shows a lot of stress, because imagine someone who is pushing a truck. Imagine a truck pusher. Truck pushers put in a lot of effort just to push the truck. Okay, so saying that I'm pushing shows that you are putting in a lot of effort to get things done, and I'm sure that that's not what you want, and that's not the kind of life that you want. And you saying that is going to put you in such a situation. It shows that you'll be in constant struggle just to make ends meet, just to have something to eat every day. All right. So instead of saying that I'm pushing, say that I'm making progress. Things are progressing by the grace of God. Instead of saying that on pousse, on met la cale. It sounds fun to say, but it's really not a nice thing to say. All right. So remember that, and never say that I'm pushing when someone asks you how things are going. Okay, so that was it for the 7 words or phrases that you need to stop saying. And those are not all. There are several others. I'm sure there are several other things that you say or that you've heard other people say that could be negative, could be self-limiting. So we'd like to know, what do you think? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Like, or are there any other words or phrases that you think are self-limiting? Please feel free to drop them in the comments. We believe that our community is going to be very enriched by them. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if this is your first time here, so that when new videos are released, you receive notifications. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, best tech remains your best bet.